The Endless Golf Podcast, brought to you by Toyota.
And welcome into another edition of the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. Joining me today from the original Green Turtle on 118th Street in Ocean City, Maryland, is my good friend and owner, Steve Pappas. And Steve, it's great to have you on the podcast. And I got to say, we're going to reminisce a little bit today about you, how you started the Turtle, but also reminisce about the golf history when it comes to the Green Turtle. It really is a rich history with local golf for sure.
Yeah, you're going back, Bobby, 45 years. My memory's not like it used to be. But Tommy and I first started working there in '76. And in 1981, we took it over. And then, things went pretty good. And in 1986, we brought some partners in, Billy Pacco and Mike Sanford. And, things kind of just exploded from there. We've been fortunate because our employees are so good. I still have employees from when we first opened. Denny Ferry still works there, and Karen still works there. Karen's been there from day one. So yeah, we have a lot of people. Gene's been there for almost 30 years now. I mean, it's something. And yeah, of course, golf is a huge part because I think we all really started playing about the same time.
Back in 1991, really. I think I started in '89. And it was amazing because in '91 is when a lot of the golf courses were built. You look at River Run, the Beach Club,
Yeah.
Eagles Landing, then came Rum Point. Then after that was Lighthouse Sound. So a lot of the golf courses really came on board then, and that's when really started picking up the game. And our earliest memories had to be at the Beach Club, which is no longer in existence now. But we played a lot of golf at the Beach Club.
Remember we used to play there like 8, 12 of us, 16 of us would show up at 10 o'clock and we'd all just start hitting balls, and Hunt would keep track of everything. And I mean, it was fun. That was back in the Bix days and Barry. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. It was so much fun playing back then. The problem was we all started about the same time, but some of us accelerated to a better level than the rest of us. Some of us have regressed, and I'm in that category.
It's funny.
You of course, have gotten better. But
well, I said this, a couple times on different podcasts and just talking to people. I said, when we started out, we played, and whoever we were better than for the most part, I'm still kind of better than. Whoever is better than me for the most part is still, has a lower handicap than I have. Even though I may have improved a little bit, they've improved more. And we really didn't see a guy who was, a 20 handicap get down to a 7 or 8.
No.
They kind of stayed in that 15, 16, and some to a 12.
You were like a 14, 15, and now you're what, a 6 or 7?
No, I'm like 8 or 9, so I'm right in there. I got to the single digits, which when I first started this game, I didn't know if I'd ever get to, but it certainly was a great run at the Beach Club. And one of the things that you did with the Turtle to tie things into your business is you used to have these scramble tournaments, and it was more of a party than it was a golf tournament, Steve.
It was Green Turtle and Libby's in Fenwick Island back with Rick McGee. We started that tournament, and it was I think it was one of the first Calcutta tournaments. It was you had to bid on teams, and it was fun. It went for about 20 years. We auctioned teams off at the Turtle on Friday night, and then the next day we'd play golf at either the Beach Club or Ocean City more than any of them. I think most of them were at Ocean City. And we'd go back to Libby's, have a party, have dinner, and we did that for 19, 20 years. And then we had some other tournaments. We did co-ed golf tournaments and just a lot. And I know you do a bunch of tournaments now, and I can assure you how hard it is to do a tournament, and people always coming up to you. And so many.
And trying to get the handicaps right. But back in those days, too, a lot of the tournaments were fun. And those scramble tournaments that we had, and we talked about the parties. And when you talk about your golf tournaments and you talk about the Green Turtle, I think fun is synonymous with both. It was more about all the people getting together. And you built your business with a friendly, like a neighborhood bar. Yeah. That's what the Green Turtle was all about. You sponsored a lot of sports teams and really were involved with the community. And the tournaments were a chance to get not only your employees together, but also together with the customers. And that was a great venue to really enjoy the day with the staff from the Turtle as well as the local community.
That's the truth, because a lot of our customers that came to Turtle all the time played in the Green Turtle Libby's golf tournament, and same with Rick. His patrons came and played in the tournament. So it got pretty big. It got to be more than we could really handle, but it was fun. We enjoyed it, and of course, we all go our different ways. We get married, and I had kids and I have grandkids, and you've become such a golf mogul now. You're all over the place. Every time, I can't go anywhere without somebody mentioning Bobby V, and I get sick of it. I get tired of listening to it. Bobby V, Bobby V. But you've done a hell of a job, and you just took over another tournament, right?
Well, I'm trying to help out with different tournaments, and obviously bringing golfers to Ocean City, Maryland is a big thing. It's kind of what I've tried to do with my business, and along with my relationship with Pam's Golf, and the guy who is the impetus behind Pam's Golf is Hunt Crosby, our good friend, and really Hunt really taught us how to play the game of golf,
Yeah, he did.
and I know he still teaches you today.
Yes, he does.
It's amazing. Hunt went from playing 4 or 5 times a week. He really doesn't play much golf anymore.
Hasn't played in 3 years.
But when I go sideways, especially with my putting, I had some putting issues the last couple of years. That was one of the guys I called because he was always a good putter, and he puts good thoughts in your head for sure.
Yeah, he does. When I started with Hunt, I was a 12. Now I'm a 17. He's done a hell of a job. No, that's joking. But he's done a great job. I love him.
Well,
and he's always here for you. I mean, whenever you want it, hey, Hunt, I got a problem. Come on over right now and we'll fix it. And that's what he does.
And like the Green Turtle, we talk about people who would come in and have fun. Another guy that we've known who's helped us with our golf games, has been a big part of the golf business here, who worked with Hunt at the Beach Club, was the head pro there, was John Rudo. John, we had him on the podcast last week, just opened his new golf store open.
The store's unbelievable.
Right, it really is beautiful.
Really nice.
But he's been really, really a big factor in the game of golf here on the Eastern Shore.
Yeah, he has. I've spent over the years, I could probably buy another condo with what I've spent at Rudo's Golf. But no, him and Derek both, and now he's got a son working in there, Jonathan, who is probably better than John, to be honest with you. I like him better. But anyway, they do a great job.
And Papo, we can't talk about golf in Ocean City, Maryland without talking about the head golf professional at Ocean City Golf Club, and that is Buddy Sass. What a gentleman he is.
He's just a great guy.
And I'll tell you what, they don't make him any better than Buddy Sass.
They really don't, and that's the truth. I'm telling you, Buddy is just a great guy. He's been there forever, and he's always accommodating whatever you need. I mean, he does a great job. I mean, there's nothing bad you can say about Buddy. He's just a great guy and a good golfer too.
And some of our greatest memories too have been in the member guests there.
Oh yeah.
John Mason started that, and what a great job and great idea that was. John, rest his soul, was a great man and really wanted to make it a classy event. And then with the help of Billy Esham and Willie and Buddy, the whole committee. I know you're on that committee as well. You guys came up with some great ideas, and it was a lot of fun for a lot of years for sure.
I tell you, they started the real member guest. What it's become, the 3-day deal, and a lot of other places have tried to mimic it, and no one's done the job that Buddy and those guys have done at Ocean City. It's just a great member guest, and I know you've played in a million of them. You play in a member guest every weekend.
I'm guilty of that. Well, Papo, it's been great taking a look back and kind of how golf ties in with our lives and our lives together. And we've spent a lot of time on the golf course with a lot of great people, and the Turtle's been a big part of that as well. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Green Turtle and what's new with the Green Turtle and what's happening coming up in the summer of 2024. So stay with us. We'll be right back with more.
And now a word from our sponsor.
I love a good adventure, and my friends and family do too. So we all drive Toyotas. Tacomas for my rugged buds and Corollas for my city crew. And I drive a RAV4 that I take camping, shopping, and basically everywhere else. We all picked our Toyotas because they're reliable and efficient and have amazing resale value, saving us money now and down the road. So we can make every day an adventure. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals and inventory. Toyota, let's go places.
And welcome back to the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. Joining me today is my good friend from the original Green Turtle on 118th Street in Ocean City, Maryland. That is Steve Pappas. And Steve, we kind of reminisced a little bit, talked about the Green Turtle when it comes to golf. And I know you're still very involved at the Green Turtle, the original Green Turtle on 118th Street, with the community, with the rec department. And now your son's kind of taking over that business, and you're in a little bit of a transition, and you're kind of stepping back a little bit. It's got to be good to see, and business is good, things are good, and you're kind of enjoying your time more on the golf course a little bit more.
Yeah, I get to play golf, 4 or 5 days a week. I'm not getting any better, but I get to play a lot. Steven has taken over the Turtle, and Jason has started his own private business, Pack the Bowl, and Steven has he's done things that I would never imagine. I guess the youth of today can make things better.
Different perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I'm old school, and we kind of got stagnant, and Steven came in and kind of changed everything. But you're only as good as your employees, and our employees are just phenomenal.
Pappas,
so
I think
good.
you're forgetting one little thing. You talk about your employees. I was an employee of the Green Turtle. Back in the 80s, it was unbelievable. I worked the door at the world famous Green Turtle. I think I got paid $25 a night, and I had to sweep up peanuts, and I had to bar back for Denny. We had to take the kegs up the spiral staircase.
That's right. We didn't have a cooler back then.
Yeah, we had to take those kegs up the spiral staircase and get the beer out of the closet there, right,
little closet.
Right in the turtle.
Yeah.
And back then there was no food, just peanuts.
Just peanuts. That was a long time ago, Bobby. I'm surprised you remembered that. Yeah, you were there. Bobby was giving orders back then too, telling everybody what to do. But it's been a long time, and transition. We've just come such a long way. We started franchising with Mike and Billy and Tommy. We went everywhere. We had 50 stores, and now we've kind of scaled back a little bit, and we just have the turtle and T-shirts. Man, T-shirts are what drive the turtle, I believe. And Steven's wife Danielle has kind of taken that over, and she's just done an incredible job. I mean, we go through so many T-shirts. It's crazy. It really is.
Well, I know back in the early days too, you had a lot of great entertainment there. I mean, some famous acts. Tommy Conwell, I think, played there, and there were some really good bands that played at the Turtle. You would never think of it that way because the Turtle was half of the size it is now, and it's still not that big, but it's amazing. There were some good acts there.
It was a quarter of the size. We had Tommy Conwell, we had George Thorogood, we had, a lot of guys, and we had a lot of guys that would come in because they would go to play at Crystal City. And then they'd stay at the Carousel, like Elvin Bishop and Daryl Hall and John Oates. And they would come in the Turtle like at 1 o'clock and have a drink after their concert was over, and they'd go back to the Carousel. So we had a lot of famous people coming in.
And I know one of the things that you're proud of, you tried to keep the Turtle as that local mentality, that local sports bar, and it really has transitioned to more of a sports bar now. And you've worked really hard to really get a full menu, and now it's more of a family event as well. You got a lot of families that come in there. You have a game room upstairs.
It's a game room for kids upstairs, full-blown game room. They come in, we get lacrosse players, we get volleyball, we get hockey from across, ice hockey with little kids, Mighty Mites over at the Carousel. We get the cheerleaders. We get so many soccer tournaments coming in, and they love going upstairs, and they get to play the games, and they get tickets, and they run them over, redeem them over at the T-shirt shop, and they're happy. I mean, we get that. That's what drives us now. We don't have much entertainment, actually. I don't think we have any. We might have like once or twice a year entertainment at nighttime, but really we've gone to what you called us earlier, a full-time sports bar with entertainment and not food. Now Steven has taken the job over so well. I mean, he's coming up with new venues. You haven't been in a while, Bobby. You haven't been in almost 3 years to try that. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I'm not going to get in an argument about that. But you got to come in and try some of the new dishes that we have. It's incredible. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how good our food is.
Well, I'll make it a point for sure, Pappas. I will say this too. You mentioned lacrosse. Lacrosse has always been a big part of your life. You played at Salisbury. Yeah. You coached there as well. Your son played as well, and so he has a background. And for those of you who know lacrosse, it's like a fraternity. Everyone knows each other, and it's a really they like to have a lot of fun as well. One of the relations that we both have, and I've had for it seems like my whole adult life, and that is with Toyota. Toyota's been my sponsor since 1991, and they sponsor a lot of your golf tournaments as well. And they were into lacrosse. Obviously, Dave Pivick, who just passed, rest his soul, owned the Bayhawks, the professional lacrosse team, along with Gordy Boone, another friend of ours. So the Green Turtle has been involved with lacrosse and made that kind of your point for a lot of the teams that come down here and play at the rec center, as well as the basketball and all the other sports at the rec center.
Yeah, we've Dave Cottle was big for us because we had a travel team, 10th, 11th, 12th graders, and Dave would come down for 3 or 4 days and he would help coach them. And I'd sit back and watch him, and I'd take notes from Dave, and that's what made that team. It was a collection of players from all over the Lower Eastern Shore. And we were pretty damn good. I mean, those kids could play, and it was all based on the turtle. Everything was turtle driven. So turtle's been the most important part of my life, my adult life, besides my family and my kids and grandkids. and my wife Dawn, she was part of it when we first started. But when we first took the Turtle over, I tended bar and Dawn waited tables. And I still remember the first day we did that. We weren't married yet, and we were staying in her cousin's house over on the beach, 2-bedroom condo. And the first time I had my bar tip money and she had her waitress money, and we sat on the bed and we were throwing it up in the air saying, we're rich.
You thought rich.
We're rich. Look at how much money we have. And that was back in those days, and that's been a long time. I've been married since '81, same year we bought the Turtle.
Well, I tell you, it's been a great run, and the run continues. Obviously, you mentioned Steven's taking over the reins there now, and I know you're enjoying that and enjoying your time on the golf course. So I just want to take some time to thank you for spending the day with me on the podcast. A great look back at the original Green Turtle on 118th Street right here in Ocean City, Maryland. If you've never been there, you definitely have to stop by. Like Pappas said, enjoy the food. I'm going to go in because I know he gives me a hard time.
I haven't been in there 3 years.
No, that's not true.
It's
if I'm
true,
not in
3
there,
years.
at least a couple times a month, he's beating
No.
on me.
Only time you come in is when Jay comes in. Jay tells you to meet you up there. You come in. That's it. You don't come in.
All right,
come in,
Papo.
try something. I tell you, both my sons know more about food than I've ever known. I mean, I don't know where they got it from. They had to get it.
And
from
I will
Dawn.
mention this too, and all of Papo's friends can attest to this. One of the reasons he's been successful, because if you do not show up at the Green Turtle every now and then, he will beat you to death with it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the
That's
things.
true.
That's a fact.
True.
That's a
Yep,
fact.
That is a fact.
All right, Steve Pappas, great spending time
Thanks,
with
Bobby.
you today.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time right here on the Endless Golf Podcast. So long, everybody.
The Endless Golf Podcast has been brought to you by Toyota.